Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about why owner-operator load boards are broken in 2023. But first, roll the intro. Welcome back. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased-on owner-operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you've provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them coming, and let's talk about owner-operator load boards and why they're broken in 2023. Now, a lot can be said about this, but we'll start off with a little history lesson. Why are load boards called load boards? And those of you guys who've been in business for a long time, you guys might recall the true definition, because they were actual boards that had loads on them. And you had to keep a bunch of change on you, run to the payphone, call the broker, negotiate the deal, get the paperwork, your rate con through a fax machine, and you were on your way. And a lot of guys will say that those were the good old days of trucking that are, behind us, simply because the broker simply couldn't get a hold of you until the load was delivered and they got the BOLs in their fax machine and then, eventually paid you. But, the advent of internet and, mobile phones, things like that certainly made many aspects of the business easier, but it also opened up the business to a lot more players, if you put it that way. So that's the reason why load boards are called load boards. And the good old days are behind us or not, I don't know if that's the case, but ultimately it has created some problems. Number one, for example, lots of ghost loads on a board, right? So these are the kind of loads that they just never remove them. You're calling on them, wasting your time. Loads don't exist. They basically thank you for reminding them, so then they remove them off the load board. The next one is the bait and switch load, and these are the ones that they put on there with attractive pricing, all this other stuff. And what happens is basically they, you call in on it and they say, oh, well, actually that load's been covered, but I got another one that you might really like. So they put that out there in order to get you to call, and the subsequent load that they're going to offer you afterwards is going to be considerably worse because the first one doesn't even exist. Now the next one is the complete and utter lie of a load, and basically this is a load that provides minimal information, as most of them usually do. You guys got an attractive price, you like what you're seeing, you take the run, goes to a good market, the money's good, you call in on it, and it turns out that actually there's like 14 drops on it and a 48-hour trailer drop, and and then you got to do a little dance or something like that. And so obviously that is a total and utter lie. And finally, the double brokered loads. Now those should not be confused, because here's the thing: double brokering is actually certainly frowned upon, certainly looked down upon in many from carriers as well as brokers, and but it is not illegal. So double brokering is not illegal, but a lot of brokers will, basically write you off forever if they find out that you're double brokered their loads. So double brokered loads are a big issue. And that brings me to the next point. A lot of you guys make your purchasing decisions in terms of booking loads based on DAT's or DAT's rate view, right? It's a piece of software that they provide online. You can go on their website and basically gives you the United States map, and it shows you, depending on van, reefer, or flatbed, whether or not certain markets are hot or cold, and kind of helps you make those decisions. But rate view and the freight volume figures that they provide you are actually a complete lie. And I've told this to a ton of people that when we start talking about this. But here's why. When you post your truck, say you find yourself in, Toledo or something, and you post your truck and hey, here I am, 100-mile radius, willing to deadhead that much, and I am a carrier, here's my information. But brokers don't do that, right? You've seen the same load posted, outside of a 100, 150-mile radius. The reason they do that is because in case you are outside that radius, they want to make sure that they reach you. And so that load will actually show up in your search results when you're looking for a load. And so they do that. They'll go east, they'll go west, they go south, they go north, and all of a sudden one load gets posted in like 12 different places. The problem with that is that the load boards like DAT for their rate view software will basically indicate that there's a ton of freight and a very small amount of trucks. right? And so what that does is it creates a ratio of, you should go to this market because there's a lot of freight there, and then a lot of you guys will make a decision to actually go to that market and take a cheap load, go in there hoping that you're going to come back for better money. But couldn't be further from the truth because the information is wrong. This is the reason why when you book a load, all of a sudden you see half the load board just disappear from that broker. The reason for it is because there was only one load. They just posted it like 12 times. So I would not make any sort of business decisions based on that information because it is absolutely incorrect. So what is a solution? How can you actually fix that? And one, I guess, solution, quote unquote, is to use private boards, right? You can go on TQL, you can go on Schneider, you can go on JB Hunt, CH Robinson, whatnot. A lot of the bigger players, they have their own load boards. But the problem is then you're playing with a captive market. And in a tough market, you're having to rely on that and not be able to actually go fishing in the spot market where a lot more freight is available. In fact, a lot of lease-on operations only work with a captive market, which is really tough because they also have a brokerage division, and so therefore you really never know if the deal that you're getting is all of it. If that's all that they got in it, then you're actually getting it. So kind of a big problem in that sense. But ultimately, what you're doing is you're sacrificing convenience in order to gain trust. Ultimately, at the end of the day, but in a market like now that we have right now, you're definitely hurting. And working, with internal load boards for a single broker is definitely not the way to go. So there is a little bit of give and take there. And this is also why credit checks are so important. You should be running a credit check on every single broker that you're running. I don't care if it's JB Hunt, if it's CH Robinson, TQL, whoever, run the credit checks and make sure you're working with someone who's got a low D2P, which means days to pay. This is the information that's collected by factors or actually provided by factors once they get paid on the receivable. And so therefore you have a days to pay. It's also the same information that's actually used to establish the credit score for the broker. This is the reason why TQL has 104 out of 100 credit score, because if you pay attention on their ACHs, they pay every 28 days. And you can get a 100% score if you pay every 30. So therefore, if you find a credit score that is low, that means that their days to pay are actually quite high. They've been taking, I don't know, 40, 45, 60 days to pay, and it creates a problem. Sometimes, factors won't even work with those companies because it takes them way too much time to actually pay you, and the factor wants to get paid as soon as possible. That's why what TQL is doing is actually quite brilliant, and that, in their defense, put it that way. So always look at and pay attention at the D2P. A lot of load boards will actually show you that. And, kind of more importantly, especially in a tough market like this, in any market ultimately, make sure you're working with a dedicated, strong, experienced dispatcher. This is not just because we're a dispatch company. Go somewhere else. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, it's simple. You're going to be trying to book a load out of the cab of your truck on a little 4G small screen computer, or on a tablet, making calls, dialing numbers, things like that. You're never going to get ahead of a dispatcher who spends all day doing this, booking thousands of loads, working on this for years, having lots of carriers, lots of truckers. Basically they know exactly what to say, how to say it. They know how to watch the markets. Are they sending you to a good area? Are they underpricing a load? Is this a good idea? Is that a bad idea? So definitely work with a strong, experienced dispatcher and start yourself a little black book of brokers that you're not willing to work with. If they burned you, put them in that book. Keep your eyes on it. Do not work with them. Do not work with them. Learn to say no and mean it. I know that the times are tough, but you have to, have that self-respect. You have to have that, that integrity for your own self, so that you don't take these loads and get burnt and put yourself in a negative position. And also always run backhaul searches on every single load, because you cannot trust the information that they present you. And if you base your information on RateView and similar indices, you're going to get yourself into trouble going to an area that you thought was hot and that the broker knew wasn't, and he underpriced the load, so you took a low price load going to a bad market that you're going to have to get out of, and you're not going to get out of there for a decent rate, so you kind of shot yourself in the foot twice, or in both feet. So know your value, know your worth. I'm going to switch over to camera, going to look over the loads that we book for our customers. If you haven't smashed the like button, please smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to switch over to camera and see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of these loads. We got vans, reefers, and even a flatbed that did quite well. Now, I will remind you, rates continue to go down. We're still doing the best that we can to keep you guys afloat, but hold on. Things will improve, guys. We're going to start off with a flatbed coming out of Athens, Georgia, going to Freedom, Pennsylvania. It's a 45,000-pound load of construction material, 647 miles booked at 1630, got them $252 a mile. Then out of Pulaski, Pennsylvania, going to Princeburg, Minnesota with a 30,000-pound load of plastic articles, 926 miles booked at 2729, got them $295 a mile there. Then Rogers, Minnesota with a one pick, four dropper going to Waukegan, Iowa, Farley, Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and a final in Sigourney, Iowa with a 42,000-pound load of Bobcat equipment, 409 miles booked at 1213, $1,213, got them $297 a mile there, and they finished off real strong out of Iowa City, Iowa, going to Cambridge, Nebraska with a 43,000-pound load of hay, 503 miles booked at $2,000 even, got them $398 a mile. Excellent job. Flatbeds are definitely picking up. This is like the third week in a row that they're picking up. Now, this driver's solo flatbedder running Monday to Sunday, so just 6 days, ended up grossing $7,572 gross for their 6 days, ran 2,485 loaded miles at an average of 305 per loaded mile average. Excellent job. Next, we got ourselves a reefer coming out of Marcy, New York with 5 drops, dropping in Solon, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Valparaiso, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri, and a final in Denton, Texas. This is a 40,000-pound load of frozen food products running -10 on a reefer, 1,689 miles, a lot of miles booked at $3,600, got them $213 a mile. Then they got out of Arlington, Texas, going to Lacey, Washington. Another long run, 28,000-pound, fairly light, frozen food product again, same temperature, -10, 2,102 miles booked at $5,000, got them $238 a mile. Did an excellent job in today's market, running 7 days on the road, Monday to Monday, grossing $8,600 and running 3,791 loaded miles at an average of 227 per loaded mile average. Then a dry van coming out of Memphis, Tennessee, going to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Light load, 12,000 pounds of paper products, 1,090 miles booked at $3,000, got them $275 a mile. Then next one's out of Fort Collins, Colorado to El Paso, Texas. Got them a load of 43,000 pounds of cardboard, 700 miles booked at $800, got them $114. But a lot of guys will not take such loads, but this one was a smart one because right out of El Paso, Texas, they took a load going to Pueblo, Colorado, a 5,000 light load of miscellaneous products or FAK, 524 miles booked at $1,500, got them $286 a mile. And then out of Pueblo, Colorado, again, no deadhead, going to Pueblo, New Mexico, with a 37,000-pound load of dry goods, 240-mile run, booked at $800, got them $333 a mile. So it pays to listen to dispatch. They know what they're doing, going to get you a cheaper load to move you to a different market, get you out of there, average you out better. 7 days on the road, Friday to Friday. Gross $6,100 on their 7 days, ran 2,554 loaded miles at an average of $239 a mile. And, you know, they did lose 1 day because of a broker forgot to schedule the delivery appointment. So that falls on a broker. Unfortunately, that's what happened. And they still did quite well. So, you know, very well done, guys. Continue with your operations. Now we're going to have a dry van coming out of Corvallis, Oregon with 2 drops, one in Boise, Idaho, the second one in Butte, Montana. 24,000-pound load of dry goods, 948 miles booked at $2,200, got them $232 a mile. The next one was coming out of Clackamas, Oregon, going to Cairo, Georgia. Ended up being a Tonu truck order not used, collected $250 for that, and picked up the load out of Three Forks, Montana, going to Orlando, Florida. Looks like 42,000-pound load of paint, 2,433 miles booked at $4,500, got him $185 on that one. And ultimately, that's actually a smart move, even though it's a lot of miles for just $185. Right now, Florida is picking up. There's nurseries are coming out. Their produce season is going to be up and running in about 2 weeks. So this is actually a very good load. They did a great job running Wednesday to Tuesday, so 6 days on the road. Gross $6,950 on their 3,381 loaded miles, ran at 206 per loaded mile average. Next one is going to be a reefer coming out of McKinnville, Oregon. Bunch of stops, 6 stops in total, going to Lafayette, Indiana, Liston, Indiana, Ottawa, Ohio, West Salem, Ohio, Norton, Ohio, and a final in Atwater, Ohio. This is a 40,000 pound, oh, would you look at that, nursery load coming out of Oregon at 40 degrees on the reefer. 2,703 miles booked at 6,100 bucks. Great job. 226 a mile on that one. Then out of Youngstown, Ohio, took a load going to Joliet, Illinois with a 40,000 pound load of dry goods. 413 miles going to an excellent market. Booked at 600 bucks, got them $1.45, relocated them to an excellent place. Friday to Friday, 7 days on the road, booked 6,700 bucks worth of loads, ran 3,116 loaded miles at an average of $2.15 per loaded mile. And then the final one's going to be a dry van coming out of Curran, Utah, going to Aurora, Colorado, 40,000 pound load of food products, 544 miles booked at $1,130, got them $2.08 a mile. Then Golden, Colorado to Fayetteville, Arkansas with a load to scale beer. Beer load, 798 miles booked at $1,400, got them $1.75 on that one to Arkansas. Then out of Springdale, Arkansas, going to Campty, Louisiana with a 43,000 pound load of cardboard boxes. 397 miles booked at $904, got them $2.28 a mile. And then Shreveport, Louisiana to Phoenix, Arizona, longer run, 42,000 pound load of oil. It's packaged oil, 1,252 miles booked at $3,000 even, got them $2.40 a mile going to Arizona. Did very well Friday to Friday, ended up grossing $6,434 in their 7 days on the road, ran 2,991 loaded miles at an average of $2.15 per loaded mile average. So guys, as you can see, yes, the markets are declining. Yes, the rates are worse than they were last week, but I bet you these rates are going to be higher than the vast majority of self-dispatching carriers that are out there. So help yourself in a tough market. Help yourself if you're a carrier, got your own MC authority, got your equipment. We work with you guys. If you're a leased on owner operator, got your equipment, got at least a truck and a willingness to work, maybe you're overpaying, maybe you're not getting decent rates, maybe they're overcharging you. There are lots of possibilities and there are lots of opportunities. You just have to explore them. So give us a call or text us at 801-448-6363. Go to our website at aftdispatch.com. Give us a call. Like I said, we'd love to be able to talk with you. We'll send you everything in writing so you have all the information you need to make the right decision. But certainly don't rest on your laurels. Move, move, move. This is not the market to be complacent. So give us a call, text us, go to our website, do whatever you got to do. And I look forward to working with you guys. Until next week, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.